welcome to another episode of Psychic Diaries. I'm Michael Lamport. I'm the producer and the narrator of the psychic show Rescue Mediums. And with me, as always, is Jackie Dennison, the host of the psychic show, and also the owner of Feathers Academy, which deals with psychic and clairvoyancy. And we're so lucky to have Karen with us now, who deals a lot in crystals, past life regressions, and reiki. I think that's right, Karen?
That's correct.
And it's funny because well, not Jackie, but Karen and I have had some technical difficulties this morning. But that could be because we're both in Canada and we're covered in COVID.
We're definitely covered in COVID, that's for sure.
So, hi, Karen. Great to see you. Thank you for agreeing to come on the show with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm just looking behind you there. You have a wonderful array of crystals behind you. Oh my gosh.
That's just a few of them.
Oh my goodness,
Wow.
just look at those. Wow. Can you feel the energy from them as you're sitting there? Do they have a certain sort of energy to them that you can feel?
They vibrate quite highly in here.
Yeah, I bet.
Sometimes I'll just get a rush from behind me and it's just kind of like, oh, okay. But there's a lot of energy. There's definitely a lot of energy flowing back there. Yeah. And I have, I think, 4 more trays sitting out in my sunroom that haven't made it back into the house yet.
Wow. So you put them outside?
They were all getting a little bath in the moonlight.
Oh, so you bathe them in the moonlight. Do you prefer the moonlight to the sunlight, bathing them in moonlight to sunlight?
I do like the moonlight better because it doesn't bleach them out. When they're out in the sun, you can only leave them for a certain period of time or they start to get bleached out from it. And some of them can actually start fires.
Oh, yeah. Do you know, we had that happen, or rather we didn't. A friend of mine had a crystal ball and she had it on her mantel shelf. And the sun came through the window, you know, to the left, hit the crystal ball and started a fire. It was,
oh my God.
Yeah, it was really crazy. I mean, luckily they managed to put everything out. But yeah, it's a lesson is that you don't put, you know, certainly don't put crystal balls on a windowsill or anything like that. That they can't they, Karen?
Oh, absolutely. This one here, I had sitting out in the sunroom in a tray. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting in the sunroom, not thinking about it. I was just kind of enjoying the energy from the stones and whatnot. And all of a sudden I was sitting there going, why can I smell something burning? And I couldn't figure it out. And then all of a sudden I looked down in the floor because I had it just sitting on its little thing on the floor. Uh-huh. It was burning a hole through the flooring of the sunroom.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Now, Karen, is that because the sun goes through them? Because I remember when I was growing up in England, we used to take a magnifying glass and get it in the sun's rays and sort of burn our hands. Stupid thing to do. I don't recommend it for anybody who's watching, so don't tell your kids that.
Yeah, don't try that at home, kids.
Is that why? But would that be why? That it's because it goes through the crystal and the energy just increases, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. And like clear quartz, like a clear crystal ball.
Oh.
There's nothing obstructing, right? So as soon as the sun hits
right.
it does exactly the same thing as a magnifying glass. Not only will it tell you what's in it, but it'll light things on fire and give you a nice, you know, wood fire if you need it. You can always use this if you need to start one.
So what's your favorite
crystal? The sun to help you.
What's your favorite crystal? Do you have a favorite?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think this is probably my most favorite, and that's labradite.
Labradorite.
And it has, the light is not very good in here, but this thing has amazing flash to it, but I can't get it to do it because I got no sunshine today.
Yeah.
But I love labradorite. I love it. It's a mystical stone. It's a protection stone as well for people like yourself that work with spirit, work with energy. It's a stone that just takes me from being crazy and just brings me down into myself. It allows me to ground my energy. Like when I was really having difficulties this morning, this is the one I pulled because I know it'll pull me back into myself and stop me from being all nutty and get everything back into where it's supposed to be. I like it because it raises your conscious energy. It connects you with universal energy. So that's important for me in the work that I do in Reiki, because with the Usui Reiki that I do, I'm channeling universal energy into my client. So this stone really helps. And I find if I use this stone with my clients, I'll use a spear and I'll put it in. I'll normally do is take maybe a lepidolite and a labradorite, one in each hand, and then I'll place other ones along their body, just depending on what's going on with them. Like sometimes I'll feel them before they even get here and I'll know what stones I need to use on them. It's just intuitive. I never really know. It's just all of a sudden my head goes that one.
So do you think you get the information from your spirit guides when you're doing that, or are you tuning into the universal energy and the energy of the person that you're going to be doing the healing on?
I think it's a bit of both, actually. I really do. I think it's intuitively driven from the energy of Reiki, but I think my guides help me a lot.
Yeah.
They help. I think they, especially this lovely lady here, Damari. She is a wonderful, wonderful woman. I love her, and I thank you so much again for her.
You're welcome.
When I start a session with a client and I ask her to come in, I honestly believe she's the one telling me. Because it's not even a thought process for me. I just start touching things. And it's just like my hands will heat up over a certain stone. It'll be, yep, that needs to go on this part of your body. Yes, this one needs to go on this part. Halfway through the treatment, I may switch them up. It just depends on what the energy tells me to do.
Now, would she, as a spirit guide, would she help you when you do past life regressions?
Yeah, absolutely. I call this guide in for everything I do. Everything I do. I ask her to come when I do tarot card readings. I ask her to come when I do Reiki. I ask her to come when I do meditation. Everything that I do, I ask my family in spirit. I ask Del Mare to come in. I ask the energy that is on my land to come in. And I just ask them all to come for the higher good of what I'm doing. It's the whole purpose of why I'm here doing this is to help people because it helped me so much.
Yeah. And they never complain about sort of like, oh my God, you want me to come in again now? I have another appointment.
Yeah, I'm busy elsewhere right now. No, that's the amazing part, I think, of this is it's universal. So when you call them in, it's their thing. They want to be part of it. That's why they're here.
I like that you called them in from the land. I like when you said that. I call them in from the land, you know, that because I've been to your home and it's a beautiful home and it's set in a beautiful surrounding. So I can visualize that as you're saying about calling them in, because you are also connecting, you're honoring those that have been there before you in doing that. And asking for their permission to carry on with the healing energy, which I think is wonderful, absolutely amazing that you do that in that way.
I need all the help I can get. I look at it that way. The more the merrier. Make it a party, then everybody benefits even more.
Yeah, you use distant healing as well, don't you? And you use
Yes.
crystals in a grid. How do you do that?
Basically, what I do is I think of the person that needs the healing.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I ask Del Marais to guide me to what I need to do to facilitate that healing. And the first thing usually is I will pick up one of these.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
You can see it's very well used and marked. And I will do some research, and I will do some reading on which combinations, which types of stones would amplify what I'm trying to accomplish with the energy I'm putting into the grid. When I have somebody that is suffering from depression, I will take a stone like smoky quartz.
Mm-hmm.
This would go into a pyramid. This would be in the center of the pyramid. Then I would take other stones like lepidolite and labradorite. Any stone that works on depression, works on calming the nervous system, works on calming the mental energies. And I place them around the middle stone. And then I will take other stones that will amplify the stones around the main stone, and then branch large pieces of quartz all the way around it. And usually they go in patterns off of the pyramid.
So does the quartz act as a transition, not transition, but as a transportation device?
It's an amplifier.
The energy that comes in, quartz takes it.
Quartz amplifies the energy of any other stone. So whatever that stone vibrates at, if you put quartz with it, it'll raise that vibration even higher. So I use a lot of raw, clear quartz in my grids.
Fabulous. Michael mentioned before about the past life work that you do. Do you use hypnosis when you do past life regression with someone?
Yes, I do.
So it's hypnotherapy. So are they in like a deep meditation? Because I know when I do past life therapy with someone, the method that I use is not a trance method. So it's a meditation method. So they're still, the person is still aware of being here and hearing my voice, but somewhere else as well. So what's the method that you use?
It's very similar to what you just described. It's basically a meditative hypnosis script, and it just takes them down to a point of deep relaxation. They are still in complete control. They still know exactly what is going on in their space. They're aware of what is happening, but they're just at such a heightened state of relaxation that they're able to go up into their higher energies and access that information. And it's just a form of basically meditation and hypnosis combined. It's just with the hypnosis, you're deepening them more than with just a regular meditation.
And why do you find that people come to you for that purpose? Is it just like a general interest, or?
Some people just come because they're curious.
Yeah.
A lot of people come because they need answers. They need to understand why they have certain issues in today's life. And they understand that maybe something that happened in their past life is affecting what's going on now. And they've been curious or been researching and understand that this type of therapy may get them to where they need to go to solve today's problem from the past.
Do you think, Karen, that when you speak of past lives, do you think that we all have like a culmination of things that have happened in that previous life, and then that one, and then that one, and then that one, and that sort of maps out our, I don't know, not our genealogy, but how we feel? If you were injured in a previous life.
I believe so. I believe what happens to us in a past life, if it's, I don't know if a karmic effect is the right way to say it or not, but I believe we have things that happen to us in our past lives.
Yeah.
And if we didn't necessarily learn or understand what was going on, that can come through into this life. And
Yeah.
it's funny how you say things like accidents and stuff. I know from a past life, I've had a very serious accident horseback riding.
Oh.
I have not been able to piece it all together yet, but I know it has something to do with my left side. I injured my left side very badly, but I have not been able to get it all pieced together. But I do know there is something there with that. I know I've gone back and seen myself as a witch in England way back. I've seen myself coming out of fancy houses in England and getting into carriages with big black fancy horses and like seeing it so clear and going, okay, well, they're taking me away. Why are they taking me away from my family? I don't want to leave my family. And it's like, I think of that. And then I think of what happens today in my life today and with my family today. And it's not so much I'm being taken away from my family, but my family's leaving me. My son's moving to the States. That's terrifying for me.
Yeah. Oh. It's understanding the pattern of things in the past. It's interesting that you say about with the horse, you know, you had an accident, because I also know that I had an accident with a horse in a previous lifetime. I was male in that lifetime. I was in my I was in my early 20s, and I just recall going into a field and there being a horse in the field that was a working horse. I think I was connected, and again, I haven't explored it completely. I think I was connected to the canals and the horses that would draw the barges along the canals. And the horse reared up and came down, and I could see its hoof coming down onto my face, and then blackness, just blackness. So I know that I died at that point in that lifetime. But I couldn't tell you who I was. I couldn't tell you what my name was or anything else. I haven't explored prior to that, just little random images. But it explains why I'm scared of horses. I love them. I love them to watch them. They're beautiful animals, but they terrify. They've got hooves and teeth, you know, they worry me. And that's
they kick hard and they bite hard.
Yeah.
How did it happen? I know. They can be pretty aggressive when they want to be.
What's the most unusual, without sort of betraying a confidence to anybody, what's the most unusual hypnotherapy session that you have gone through with someone?
I think
time-wise.
I had a friend come. This isn't even a client. This was just a friend that came and was very interested and wanted to try. So I thought, okay, we'll give it a go. It was when I had just graduated. So it was like she was helping me out, letting me get used to doing it. And I put her into the regression, and it was funny because she spoke so softly I could barely hear her. It was so strange, but she described a life where she was a man, and she described her family. This man, everything about his world was just his family. And she was describing all the different events of this family life that she had. And the tears, I could see the tears rolling down her face, because that's the family she wants in this life and she doesn't have.
Oh, wow.
So it's showing her, you've had this before.
Yeah.
And this is why it feels the way it feels now, because you're longing for that feeling. And it's interesting, the messages that she gave herself, they were very healing, because when she came out of it, she said, it doesn't matter. that I'm not connected to these people. It doesn't matter. My family is you. The people that care about me, the people that are here for me. These people, they share my DNA, but they're not my family.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And I understood what she meant. I could identify with what she was saying, because our family isn't always necessarily the people we share DNA with.
No, that's true. That's
sometimes true. The DNA people are a little detrimental to us sometimes.
Now, excuse the pun, but you're not a one-trick pony, Karen. I know that. You are a fabulous clairvoyant. I know that. You do amazing meditations. I've actually listened to your meditation. I've listened to your voice. You have a really, really soothing voice. It's very, very easy to connect with you in meditation. And I know with the work, you were born to be a healer. It doesn't matter what it is you do. You were born to be a healer, and I know that that's all you want to do, is to make people happy, whether it's through reiki healing or whether it's through the crystal healing. I know you'd use essential oils as well within your reiki treatments, and within your clairvoyant and tarot readings as well. It's you want to help people, and that's what you do. What cards do you use when you are doing a reading? Is it just tarot, or do you use other things as well? Do you use crystals in your readings?
I use everything.
Yeah.
I will have different, again, depending on who I'm reading for, I'm intuitively drawn to what I'm going to need. And I'll place those stones. Because of COVID, everything is obviously happening this way.
Yeah.
So I'll just take what I need and I'll set them in front of me. And I just let myself absorb that energy. I put my cards with those as well. And there's probably 7 different decks that I'll pull.
Yeah.
And just set. And then when I get on and I start talking with the client, I just ask Spirit, which deck does this person need? What is the message that they need today? And what deck is going to deliver that message effectively?
Yeah.
And then I'll pull the deck, and then I just start shuffling, and whatever falls out, they get that, and I'll turn a few more on top of that. And it's usually quite interesting how everything links up, because usually I'll have a little conversation with them before we even start. And I find it interesting because people will want to tell you things before you start reading them.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I have to say, please don't say anything. We're going to be fine. It'll work out great. And you just don't tell me nothing. And then it'll start. They'll just tell me that they'll put things in my head, and it'll be, okay, you got a man there, and this is his energy, and this is what he's telling me. And then I'll go, okay, I got a pain in here, and it's like, okay, so this feels like the liver. It's either your liver or something in that area. And then the next thing they'll know, they'll say to me, yeah, this person passed from liver cancer, or this person passed from pancreatitis, or something along those lines. A lot of the times I'll just get like an elephant on my chest, and that tells me, okay, they had heart issues or a breathing problem. And Spirit's nice, and they give me those little clues, and then I'll turn some cards, and then the information on the card will match what they've just given me. It usually just flows beautifully. But I actually had a client last week that I picked up a male spirit for her. I thought it was her father. It was actually her brother. And it just fell apart from there. I've never, ever had that happen to me before. It's the very first time. And I didn't know what to do with it.
When you say that fell apart, like, what do you mean? Like you couldn't continue with the reading?
Yeah, I just couldn't access any information. It was just like somebody just put a great big wall up and said, nope, you're not getting nothing. And I didn't know what to do with it. I was I was dumbfounded. Like I even said to the lady, like, I'm sorry, but I'm getting nothing. Like I'm getting nothing. And I've never, ever had it happen.
Yeah,
This
maybe
was
the brother
first
just
time.
didn't want to say anything. Maybe it was just, you know, not the right time, or maybe she'd put up a brick wall without realizing, you know, her defenses have come in.
He was pretty, I don't know. He never believed in it. So number one, when they
Oh.
get to the other side, right, and they go, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Hey, we can do this.
yeah.
And he let me get his personality, but that was it.
Yeah.
It was like he really didn't want to full on have a conversation. And it made it really difficult. Like I could not even pick up on the lady's energy. It was just very strange. I'd never experienced it before. Like I can walk in a room and know if somebody's looking at me from behind. Like I can turn around and point the person out. So I know I'm feeling things, and I understand what the energy is trying to tell me. And then it just kind of went, and I was like, okay.
Well, you know,
Sorry.
maybe all she needed to know was that he was there. Maybe all he needed to say was, look, I'm here, I'm okay. And that's it. End of, you know, that's what's so great about you, Karen. You are very honest about things. You're very, very honest. So if you've got something, you'll say, this is what I've got. And if you haven't got anything, you'll say, oh, I'm really sorry, but this is all I've got. I haven't got anything else. You know, a lot of people in that situation would have kept going and giving other things that they thought the client would want to hear. You didn't. You know, that is how genuine and how honest you are. And I think that's purely and simply, that's all that was meant. That connection was just meant to be in that moment. I'm here, I'm okay, and yeah, I believe in it now, and that's it. And maybe that's all she needed to hear.
Maybe. From what I understand, she might like to try again in another couple of weeks. And you know, I'm all in to try again. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, then obviously I'm not the person to be doing it for her. Maybe she needs a different type of energy. I'm not sure. I just don't like to disappoint people. That's all.
I know, that's you. You see, you do, even with the things, because I know how creative you are as well. And you made me an absolutely amazing one of those Besson brooms, like the witch's broom. You made that from, I couldn't bring it back from Canada. Oh, yes. I couldn't bring it back from Canada, though, because we weren't allowed to bring it through customs.
Yeah, I never thought about that when I made it for you.
I know. So it lives at Edna's house. It lives there, and she's getting the benefit of that. But you make some fabulous things. I mean, you make the sage wands. You make the fans, the beautiful fans with the feathers, and everything you use is natural, isn't it? All the products are natural products.
Everything I use comes from my land.
Yeah, that's
everything.
So amazing. Yeah.
I'll just go for a walk and it'll say, pick me up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pick you up. And it was funny. I was just out walking it was in like a late September afternoon, a couple of years back. I was just out walking. It was a nice day and I was in the far part of the bush, and there's a lot of ferns that grow out there. And I noticed as they were dying off, getting ready for winter, these fern palms were sticking out at the center of them. And I thought, well, aren't they pretty? And I thought, what are you? And I looked at it and it was just like, okay, pick me, take me home and make me.
Wow.
Pick you, take you home and make you. Okay. Next thing I know, I come back to the house, I get a pair of pruning shears and a great big bag, and I go out and I prune them all and bring them all home, and I'm looking at them going, okay, what do I do with them now? Go for another walk, find a really nice stick, bring it home, sand it down, make it pretty. Start figuring out a way to fashion these things to the stick, and next thing you know, you got a big broom. And it's when I'm making them, I don't even know how to describe it. It's odd. It's like I can hear the land when I'm making them. It's like they're happy that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's a creativity, I guess, that the energy of the land likes.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing it. It's very relaxing.
Yeah.
I've
And
done
that's
it.
a very, in North America, not just Canada, but in North America, that's a very a big belief in native cultures, right? That the land speaks to them.
Yes.
And I think it speaks to us all, but a lot of us in this busy life, we choose not to listen. And I think that's sad.
That's very true. And it is sad, because if people just took 5 minutes and just stood and listened to nature, they would learn so much in just a few minutes. Just a few minutes, you can learn so much just by getting quiet and listening to the land you're standing on.
Yeah.
I found when we were really in the throes of COVID at the first part of the spring,
Yeah.
like nobody was on the roads, nobody was going anywhere, everybody was like in their house. I was so grateful for this land, because I could walk out my door, I could put my feet in the grass, I could be connected immediately and know I'm safe, I'm protected, and if need be, I can bring people here and help them at the same time and not be in their space.
Yep. Well,
And
that's
then
fascinating.
I just find everything brought me to this property, and it brought me here because of the energy that was here, the spirits that are here. I believed I lived on this land sometime in a past life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to help me with that one day really soon.
Okay.
I do believe I lived here sometime. I believe I lived on this land as a native person.
Oh.
But I need to go in and figure that one out. And you know my situation here, Jackie. It's kind of a crazy place. My world is very, very busy on a good day here. Yeah. And it's hard for me to get quiet. I find the best time for me to get quiet is when I have a client coming. It's like everything that is here that is energy based says, okay, we got to help this girl out. She needs to mellow out and get ready. So let's just do that. They stop the phone from ringing. They make the dogs quiet. It's very odd what happens.
Yeah. Love it. Love it when we work with spirit and they look after us like this. Fabulous. We're so lucky to be able to make that connection.
I feel so blessed to do this work. It took me a long time to figure out this was what I am and this is what I'm supposed to do. I struggled for a lot of my life trying to figure out where I fit in this world, and I never fit anywhere until you helped me figure out what I am.
You're wonderful. That's what you are. You're a wonderful healer. You've become a wonderful friend. I'm very glad to have you in my life. And I thank you so much for today, letting us into your beautiful home to share with the energy of your crystals. And anybody who wants to contact you, can they contact you through your Facebook?
Yes, they can contact me through my Facebook page, which is Turning Leaf Holistics, or they can contact me through my personal Facebook page, which is Karen Hooker Blackstock.
Yeah. So we're going to put a link at the end so that people know how to find you. And I would advise anybody who wants any healing or wants past life regression or would like a beautiful broom making for them, broomstick they're making for them, or to
I have a pretty for you.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Now look at that for a wand. Isn't that fabulous? Absolutely fabulous. And you can feel the energy from that with a clear quartz at the end to magnify.
This is so much fun to do. It's like you can just, it's crazy when you pick them up and you feel them. It's crazy to think that there's that much vibration and energy in something.
I know. And they can, people can contact you because you sell crystals as well, don't you?
Yes, I do.
you sell the crystals and you sell the products that you make. So if anybody would like to order something from you, or to talk to you about their needs, or to book a tarot reading or a mediumship reading, I'm sure they won't be disappointed. I know they won't be disappointed.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, and
you.
we'll see you again.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jackie. And none of this would be possible if it wasn't for you. So I'm so grateful.
Yes, dear.
Again, I appreciate your guidance and your friendship more than you'll ever know.
Oh, thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks for being with us.
So nice to see you.